Hello, my name is Ted Burke and I'm the pastor of Crestwood United Methodist Church in Crestwood, Kentucky. I'm doing this series on the Stations of the Cross from March 28, 2020 to April 10th, which is Good Friday. I'm here in my home for a very specific reason. You see, we are in the midst of the coronavirus rampage. Businesses are closed and people are told to stay in. We have masks to wear if we go out in crowded areas. We're to wash our hands as often as we can. This is a difficult time in our world. There is some pain and suffering going on. This will be known as the tragedy of our lifetime. The seventh cross has a title, Jesus Falls a Second Time. We see in this station, though no biblical record, of how many times Jesus fell, but we know he did. And the symbolism here is powerful. Because you see, there were groups that rose up somewhere around 197 AD, the Docetism, that said that Jesus was not human and was either all God or an illusion. At the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, this was voted to be heretical and soon died off. But this station reminds us, Jesus was alone. He was in pain. He was suffering. Do you remember before all this began in the Garden of Gethsemane, he prayed? The first time he said, "My Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." And then the second time he prayed in the garden, he said, "My Father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it, your will be done." Jesus falling the second time reminds us that he knows our pain. And it was in his pain and being defeated and knocked down that he raised us up from our fall. Two things I want you to remember about this station. The first is, it was absolutely a painful, shameful, embarrassing way to die. The cross was a symbol of an abomination. And what Jesus did changed it to a symbol of love. The second thing is this symbol reminds us, or this station reminds us, good people suffer. We live in a world that hurts. And God never said we wouldn't hurt. He said, though, everything we went through, he would always be with us. So remember, God is with us. A few years ago, I was in a seminar in California with Robert Schuller. Some of you remember him. He was known for being very positive and uplifting. In the seminar, he told us a story. He said he went to speak to a group of miners that had been on strike for a year. When he was introduced and walked out on the stage, the boos ran down on him. By the time he got to the mic, they were even louder. He said he never reached for his speech. He stepped to the mic and he began with a whisper of a phrase. And for 5 minutes, he said the same phrase over and over until he was finally at the end screaming it, and they were screaming it with him. The phrase, "Tough times don't last, but tough people do." And we who have a Savior who has endured this horrific way of dying, who fell, and who knows our pain, is the one to support us in this difficult time. Because you see, our Savior knows what it means to hurt. And many of you are hurting. But tough times don't last, but God's people do.